So, Nottingham Forest keep their top 6 hopes alive going into the final day of the season against a top 6 rival in Chelsea. Of course, we have European football confirmed officially now, but the Europa League is gone in terms of it being 7th place because, of course, Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup. Normally, I'd be very happy about that, and I am, really. It's a good thing for football, but it has made our life harder because we've now got to really get into the top 6 if we want to be in at least the Europa League. Murillo is back in the team off the back of missing the Leicester game, of course, and Hudson-Odoi, a welcome surprise to see him on the bench. A bit of a concern initially to see Dominguez still playing out wide. He can do alright there, but I do feel can be a bit ineffective. It would be better to see an actual winger, but I think he did alright. And Forest, I think from the get-go, it was a bit nervy. West Ham having a couple of chances early on, but then Morgan Gibbs-White capitalising on a very costly error from Areola. So it was a gift, but it was well taken by Gibbs-White, and a real nice tribute to Tyrell Warney, of course, who of course is now out of that induced coma and on the road to recovery, but a very serious situation with him. Probably won't see him again in the Forest shirt, which is really sad. Maybe over pre-season, but it's going to be. In fact, I don't even think we'll see him there, but good tribute from the Forest lads. We doubled our lead in the second half with a Milenkovic header. I initially thought it was a direct free kick from Elanga, and my initial reaction was, when was the last time we ever scored a direct free kick? It is a rarity, but it wasn't a direct free kick. I'll take it because it was Milenkovic's head instead. Another goal for him. I think that's 5 for the season now from centre-back, so that's very impressive. We can't not mention the fact that it took 6 minutes to decide whether that was a goal or not, and in this case it went in our favour, but that's still an absolute joke that it takes that long to decide. VAR was meant to be for clear and obvious errors. If you're having to spend 6 minutes looking at something, then it's not really a clear and obvious problem. So I just think VAR, it seriously needs a rethink. Some would arguably say get rid of it, because I just think it ruins the flow of the game, and I'm talking about this and it's gone in our favour as well, so that's how stupid it is. West Ham did get one back though through Jarrod Bowen, and this was off the back of bringing on Danilo and Morato, who of late hasn't been in good form at all. I think you can blame him for this. He headed the ball right into the path of Bowen, and they didn't really do a great deal to stop it. So yeah, he's not in very good form, Morato, and I think most of the season he's been pretty solid, but of late he's been ineffective to say the least. As a result of that long VAR chat, there was 11 minutes added on, and then there was like another 3-4 minutes played on top of that. So probably the longest game of the whole season for us, and maybe even in the whole league, because yeah, it just didn't feel like the game was going to end, to be honest. Today, I didn't think it was going to end. There was an off-the-ball incident with Murillo. He got entangled with a West Ham player and it just sparked a massive brawl, and there was a lot of yellow cards, but we got the job done. That's all that matters, and I'm very relieved because we needed it, and I'm so happy that we can now go into that Chelsea game okay with a lot of pressure on us, but we've got something to play for. It's not just a dead rubber in terms of playing a Champions League, Europa League rival, but we can't do it. You know, we're out of the running. It's just non-plus. It's still an unbelievable achievement to get into the Conference League, but I do see where people are coming from. When we're third for so long, it would be a real sucker punch to suddenly be playing in a Conference League. So partly it's a phenomenal thing that we're going to get to do that, but it's also really annoying and frustrating, the fact that you've dropped down 3 tiers of European football, or to the bottom tier, I should say. So this is why I just want us to get Europa League at least, because okay, that's not the Champions League, but that was arguably going to be a step too far for us. Europa League, it's a step down, but it's a much more reasonable step down than going down to the conference. Here's a question for you all. Would you rather us be in the Champions League and probably be out of our depth, only you're in the Champions League against the very best teams, which is obviously incredibly special, or be in the Conference League and genuinely have a good shot of winning it, but against much lesser sides? There's only like a handful of good teams like this season. There was only Fiorentina and Real Betis that could seriously challenge Chelsea. So it's an interesting debate that. I'd like to hear what you think of that. Europa League, I think, would be in the middle. We could probably do all right in it, but I don't think we could probably go and win it. Only if Spurs and United can get to the final, then probably, yeah, we could. But this is what I'm saying. I think there's fors and against for not getting in the Champions League. But I'm just pleased that we can go to the final day. If we beat Chelsea, we stand every chance in the world of getting into the top 6. And that's a respectful finish. Okay, we were third for a long time, but top 6 sounds a lot better than finishing top 7 when you were third. I know I keep saying it, but it's, it'll be a real sucker punch if that was to happen. But it's good that we could still grind out wins like that, even with our form declining. But I am concerned going into that Chelsea game. Our home form has been a real car crash at the end of the season. Can we raise our game though when we really need to? We've done well against all the big teams at home this season. We've got to do it. We have to go out fighting at a minimum. It's going to be tough to beat Chelsea, but Chelsea are inconsistent themselves. They lost to Newcastle the other day, then they scraped past the poor Man United team. It's, I don't think it's out of the question that we beat them, but it's going to be tough. So please, everyone, get your thoughts in the comments on that one. And of course, going into the last week of the Premier League season now, one more game to go against Chelsea, obviously. And yeah, some big videos coming over the next 2 weeks as we close the season. It's always an exciting time, so stay tuned to that and everything. Up the Reds.